Doug Emhoff decided to pick. No, he's the. What do they call him? He is the first bitch. What? First gentleman, which is so stupid. He's the guy who got the nanny pregnant in his first marriage. Anyway, I would be a little worried about him calling us blonde. He called Gwen Walz. So not only did they have one awkward phone call, but they had another awkward phone call. Cue the awkward phone call. Audio sound by 5, ladies and gentlemen. So weird. Look at him. He's such a freak.
Hello?
Gwen?
Yes?
It's Doug Emhoff. How are you?
Don't worry, I'm not going to get you pregnant.
Holy smoke.
Right. So,
Yes, thank you for taking time to call. It's so considerate.
so
No, I think this
Gwen,
one was
I
right.
remember getting this call 4 years ago, and I actually know what you're going through right now, but the good news is I've already been through it. So just like Dr. Biden was there for me, who had been through it.
Don't sleep with your nanny, if I
I've
can give
been
you
through
any
it.
advice,
I'm gonna be there
Gwen.
for you. And we're going to do this together.
Thank you.
Don't get your
And
nanny pregnant.
Kamala and Tim are going to do this together, and we are going to win this election together. And I cannot wait.
It's
to
so
see
awkward.
you,
Doesn't
in
he look
Philadelphia in a little
awkward?
bit.
Can I just say, I'm going to get into everything else, but can I just say, I was looking at and we can, because nobody cares about these two freaks anymore. When I first saw the headline that he actually got his nanny pregnant, I'm like, I can't believe that 2 women conceived with him, because he's so, no. I think he probably just upon appearances reduces a woman's fertility rate by like 20%, just upon appearances. All right. So, really, it was, so they had their little phone calls. They had their event yesterday. Did you guys see that? Well, I had to watch it because it's my job. They had Josh Shapiro go out there. I can understand, even though they hate Jews, I can understand why Democrats didn't want Josh Shapiro to be on the ticket with Kamala Harris, because did you hear Josh Shapiro speak? Guys, Democrats actually have somebody who can talk. It's very, well, without his voice kind of cracked. Audio soundbite 17. This was some of Josh Shapiro yesterday. He was very energetic. Listen.
Are you ready to form a more perfect union? Are you ready to build an America where no matter what you look like,
Dang.
where you come
What?
from, who you love or who you pray to, that this will be a place for you? And are you ready?
I actually thought it was going to be a wrestling
the
event.
next president of the United States.
So
in the
Josh
eye-
Shapiro goes out there. He actually, he's not a moderate. And we talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to relitigate it today. There's no such thing as moderates on the Democrat side. They don't have moderates. Okay. It's like saying Doug Emhoff has any kind of self-awareness or restraint. But they have no moderates, but they're trying to rewrite and retcon everybody's history about moderation, right? So Josh Shapiro goes out and they're like, oh, here's this moderate in Pennsylvania. He's going to sit here and introduce these moderates, because they act like Kamala Harris is a moderate and Tim Walz is a moderate. Neither of them are. So they go out and Kamala Harris cannot have someone on the ticket who looks like they're more competent than she is. And just by way of saying a sentence that doesn't sound insane, Josh Shapiro sounded better than Kamala Harris did. And she went out there and she was like, what did she say? Good evening. Good evening. Didn't we have her saying this a million times? Yeah. Wait a minute. Can we play this so that the people can get an idea? If you guys spared yourselves, I didn't spare me, but you guys, yeah. Oh my gosh. This is how she started it. Audio sound by 10, you guys. This is how first thing she said when she came out on stage.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. She sounds like what you say to kids, like when you're talking to kids and you're trying to get them, to calm down. It is just odd. It is just odd. So she came on after Josh Shapiro sounding like that. And then you could kind of understand why they didn't really, I think, want Shapiro to be on the ticket. And I feel like he did a really good job speaking, even though he's wrong on everything. And I just think he's, I'm not a fan of him at all. But just looking at it clinically, he can speak. That's, I know it's the minimum for these guys. Guys, give him something. Come on. It's the minimum for him. Bless their buttons. He can speak, guys. He can string a sentence together without saying the same canned stuff over and over again. So he goes out there. He, gets everybody amped up. And then these two stooges come out and they walked out. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was like two Chick-fil-A employees that were real ginger about interacting with the public. It was just weird, the whole demeanor. So they come out. And then Tim Walz, I hope you realize, do we have the yeah, here it is. Audio soundbite 14. This is the remark that stuck out to me. So he remarks on J.D. Vance. Now, I just want to tell you guys before I play this audio soundbite, I have tried to in my career be real nice. Not real nice, but I've tried to be nicer. I have kids that are more aware. I can't be the bare-knuckle brawler that I came up into this industry as, like literally jumping off of stages and going into fights with people. Because in my mind, I'm like 7'2". Kane is dying laughing. I would terrify my bosses, my husband. I'd be like, you're a jackwad. And I'm off the stage. I literally would not even take the mic. And then where's Dana? She's in the audience fighting with somebody. So, and my husband's like, oh my gosh. God love that man. But, as my kids are getting older, I'm like, wow, maybe I should be a lady and nice, in public. A lady and nice in public. And people are really tempting me with stuff like this. This is bait for me, right? Because I feel like Bane. Like, you guys these people merely adopted being mean. I grew up in it, okay? I was formed by mean. And so when I hear people like Tim Walz make these kind of remarks like this, because it's what he's saying is not what he's saying. If you've heard the rumor about J.D. Vance, they're trying to LBJ him. Now, if you want to know what I mean by the LBJ thing, way back when, I'll reiterate this really quickly, way back when LBJ was running for state office, and I can't even remember what office it was, and he told his campaign manager, well, put it out there that my opponent likes to fornicate with pigs. He didn't say that F word, but you know what I mean. He was a pig fornicator. Again, not that F word, but you get the idea. And the campaign manager was like, sir, we can't do this. That's insane. You can't say this guy's a pig fornicator. It's not true. That never happened. LBJ was like, yeah, son, that's not the point. The point is to get the man to deny it, elevate it, and then reduce your own branding by elevating it, your value by elevating it. That's the whole point. It's a psyop. So there was this thing that went around. The left started accusing J.D. Vance of being a couch fornicator. I mean, literally a sofa fornicator. Kane, you heard it. I'm just telling you because I need to tell you this so this soundbite makes sense. So I'm at a crossroads here. How mean do I get with this Tim Walz? Because he might be this, old dude from Minnesota, but I was raised by a bunch of Ozark women, and sailors. So, feels like that, actual Navy sailor. So I feel like that's, So I hear him say stuff like this, and I need you guys to determine, if I'm going to be the new year, new me or not. So Tim Walz brings up this fecal post about J.D. Vance, about the sofa. Audio soundbite 14.
That is if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there?
I see what I did there. Boss hog. He like patted himself on the back. Is that not cringe? See what I did there? I made a joke about a fecal post. But they don't call it that. They call it a shh. It starts with that post. See, I made a joke about this rumor. If he's willing to get off the couch, see what I did there? Wink, wink. No, that's so cringe. I just about died. I about died. That wasn't the most cringe part of last night, though, guys. It wasn't. I know, you're like, wait a minute, Dana. What? Oh, no. Are you guys ready for the most cringe quote of the night? I give you audio soundbite 7 in all of its glorious glory.
Well, some might say it's like a matchup between the varsity team and the JV squad.
So brat. That's so not original. That is so not original. Jeez. I cannot deal. She actually said that. And she was talking about Walz and Vance. So, I mean, how many times have you heard like that phrase over and over again? And she trotted it out like it was the most original thing in the world. Notice how she checked the prompter too. She checked the prompter. She couldn't even remember it. She's looking around. You can see her look over at the prompter because it was right there. She had to like check the prompter to even be able to speak. I can't even with these people.